Hello wine people, welcome to Thirsty and Wise where we simplify wine. This is video number 40 in our video series where I answer multiple choice questions on WSET Level 3 in Wines course preparation. In this specific video, I'm going to be answering 50 multiple choice questions on sherry. So this is video number 40. We started with explaining the first part of the WSET Level 3 Wines book, which is the 76 pages. Then we covered all the regions for still wines. The last video was about sparkling wines. This and next two videos are going to be about fortified wines. So this videos, multiple choice question videos about fortified wines are your learning outcome number 4, which is all about fortified wines. And on the multiple choice part of your theory exam, you're just going to have 5 questions. But the bigger value, especially I think about the sparkling and fortified wines, because is actually this multiple choice questions, the way that I do it and on this channel, is not so much about testing your knowledge as it is about giving you the information and pointing out what is important. So let's start with fortified wines and sherry. Question number 1. What is the primary soil type of sherry region? Albariza, limestone, clay, sand. Correct answer is A, Albariza soil. What is the climate of sherry region? Cool maritime, hot Mediterranean, warm continental, dry desert-like. The correct answer is B, hot Mediterranean. Sorry. What are the 3 grape varieties permitted in sherry production? Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Meunier, Palomino, Pedro Jimenez, Muscat of Alexandria, Riesling, Gewürztraminer, Chenin Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc, Merlot, Tempranillo. Correct answer is B, Palomino, Pedro Jimenez, and Muscat of Alexandria. What is the main grape variety used in dry sherry production? Palomino, Pedro Jimenez, Muscat of Alexandria, Albarino. Correct answer is A, Palomino. What is the primary characteristic of Albariza soil? Heavy clay content, sandy texture with poor water retention, volcanic origin with mineral richness, high chalk content with excellent water retention. The correct answer is D, high chalk content with excellent water retention. What wind affects the vineyard in sherry region and cools the vines? Tramontan, Levante, Mistral, and Poniente. I believe it's Poniente. Let me just check. The vineyard, Levante, dry. Yes, so Poniente is the cooling. What is the primary alcohol content of base wine used in sherry? 11 to 12, 9 to 10, 14, 15, 16 to 17. Correct answer is A, 11 to 12. What is the first classification in sherry production? Blending wines in Solera system, fortification of wines to 18% alcohol by volume, filtering wines for clarification, sorting wines for biological or oxidative aging. The correct answer is D, sorting wines for biological or oxidative aging, meaning you need to see what are the characteristics of wines and are they suitable to age biologically or they're suitable to age oxidatively. More delicate wines are suitable for floor aging. More richer, robust base wines are suitable for oxidative aging. What is sobretabla in sherry production? A waiting period to assess wines before adding them to the Solera system, a process of sun-dried grapes for sweet sherry, the addition of PX to sweeten wines, the final step in bottling sherry. The correct answer is A. This is a waiting period where the wines are before. Basically, it's like a vessel, a wine that is used to top up either floor aged wine, biologically aged wine, or oxidatively aged wines. So the correct answer is B, a waiting period to assess wines before adding them to the Solera system. What is ABV range for wines fortified for biological aging? 19 to 20, 17 to 18, 11 to 12, 15, 15 and a half ABV. So the correct answer is 15, D, 15 to 15 and a half. So when you fortify wine until this level, you're allowing for floor to develop, because above this, floor will not develop. The alcohol will be too high. What is the ABV range for wines fortified for oxidative aging? 17, 18, 15, 15 and a half, 12, 13, 20 to 22. The correct answer is A, 17 to 18. What is the primary purpose of floor yeast in biological aging? Protecting wines from oxidation and creating acetaldehyde flavors, increasing alcohol levels, reducing tannins in the wine, enhancing color stability. Correct answer is A, protecting wine from oxidation and creating acetaldehyde flavors. What type of barrels are used in a Solera system? Amphora, stainless steel tanks, concrete vats, 600-liter oak butts. The correct answer is D, 600-liter oak butts. What is the minimum aging requirement in the Solera system for sherry? 3 years, 2 years, 12 months, 6 years. I believe it's A, 3 years. I don't think I'm gonna find this information now, but I believe it's 3 years. 3 to 4 years greater than. I believe the correct answer is A, 3 years. What distinguishes Oloroso sherry from Fino sherry? Oloroso undergoes oxidative aging, while Fino undergoes biological aging under floor. Oloroso is made exclusively from Muscat grapes. Fino is always sweetened, while Oloroso is always dry. Fino is aged for a minimum of 10 years, while Oloroso is aged for 3 years. The correct answer is A. Oloroso undergoes oxidative aging, while Fino undergoes biological aging under floor. What flavor profile is associated with Amontillado sherry? Purely fruity and floral aromas, a combination of yeast-derived aromas and oxidative flavors, high acidity and citrus and green apple notes, sweet and nutty with heavy oak influence. The correct answer is B, a combination of yeast-derived aromas from floor and oxidative flavors from oxidation. What is the average residual sugar for PX Pedro Jimenez sherry? Up to 500 grams of residual sugar, 2 to 300, 100 to 150, less than 50 grams of residual sugar per liter. So the correct answer is A, up to 500 grams of residual sugar. I had a chance to taste Pedro Jimenez. It's like molasses. It's like super dark and super sticky. What defines Paulo Cortado sherry? It combines the aromatic finesse of Amontillado with the body and richness of Oloroso. It is made exclusively from sun-dried Pedro Jimenez grapes. It undergoes no biological or oxidative aging. It is aged exclusively in stainless steel tanks. So the correct answer is A. It combines the aromatic finesse of Amontillado with the body and richness of Oloroso. What distinguishes Manzanilla sherry from Fino? Manzanilla is produced in Sanlúcar de Barrameda and has a more tangy, salty character. Manzanilla is aged oxidatively, while Fino is biologically aged. Fino is sweeter than Manzanilla. Manzanilla is only made from Pedro Jimenez grapes. The correct answer is A. Manzanilla is produced in Sanlúcar de Barrameda and has a more tangy, salty character. Basically, it's a Fino from a very specific part of Jerez region. Where is Manzanilla sherry exclusively produced? Jerez de la Frontera, Sanlúcar de Barrameda, Puerto de Santa Maria, Untilla Morales. The correct answer is B, Sanlúcar de Barrameda. What is the key characteristic of cream sherry? A dry wine aged in still, a biologically aged wine under floor yeast, a sparkling sherry with high residual sugar, a sweetened blend of Oloroso and PX wines. Cream sherry. Okay, So the correct answer is D, a sweetened blend of Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez wines. What distinguishes Pedro Jimenez sherry? An intensely sweet wine made from sun-dried Pedro Jimenez grapes, a dry wine aged under floor yeast, a fortified wine with no oxidative aging, a sparkling sherry with tropical flavors. The correct answer is A, an intensely sweet wine made from sun-dried Pedro Jimenez grapes. What defines VORS sherry, or very old rare sherry? Sherry with an average age of at least 30 years, a sweetened wine blended with PX, a wine aged exclusively in stainless steel tanks, a biologically aged wine with minimal alcohol content. The correct answer is A, sherry with an average age of at least 30 years. What aging method is unique to sherry production? Barrel fermentation, extended maturation, the Solera system, cold stabilization. The correct answer is C, the Solera system. What is the floor profile of Fino sherry? Flavor profile of Fino sherry. Light-bodied with nutty, yeasty, and fresh citrus flavors, sweet with dried fruit and caramel notes, full-bodied with oxidative flavors and high tannins, fruity with pronounced acidity. The correct answer is A, light-bodied with nutty, yeasty, and fresh citrus flavors. What alcohol level prevents floor from developing in oxidative sherries? 17, 15, 12 to 13, 18. The correct answer is A, 17%. That's why Fino is fortified to 15, 15.5. What is the key characteristic of Oloroso sherry? Rich, full-bodied with nutty and oxidative flavors, light, crisp, and biologically aged, sweet and floral with tropical fruit notes, sparkling and high in acidity. Correct answer is A, rich, full-bodied with nutty and oxidative flavors. What distinguishes VOS from VORS sherry? VOS has an average age of at least 20 years, while VORS is aged for at least 30 years or more. VOS is sweetened with PX, while VORS is always dry. VOS is biologically aged, while VORS is oxidatively aged. VOS is made from a younger wines than VORS. So the correct answer is A. VOS means at least 20 years average age of 20 years, while VORS age is 30 years or more, average age. What flavor profile is typical of Amontillado sherry? Oxidative only, with bold tannins, fruity with high acidity and minimal yeast influence, sweet and floral with pronounced caramel notes, nutty with mix of flour, derivative, and oxidative characteristics. Correct answer is D. It's a combination of biologically aged aromas like nuts and flour with oxidative characteristics. How is sherry defined by maturation? By biological aging under floor or oxidative aging without floor, by sugar levels in the wine, by the grape variety used, by its alcohol content. The correct answer is A, by biological aging under floor or oxidative aging without floor. What are the three towns of Sherry Triangle? Jerez de la Frontera, Sanlúcar de Barrameda, El Puerto de Santa María, Montilla Morales, Rioja Priorat, Valencia, Alicante, Yumila, Cádiz, Malaga, Granada. Correct answer is A, Jerez de la Frontera, Sanlúcar de Barrameda, El Puerto de Santa María. What are the characteristics of Palomino grapes? Neutral flavors, low acidity, high yield, and adaptability to Albariza soil, high acidity, tropical flavors, thick skin, aromatic profile with floral and citrus note, sweet, low yielding, high tannins. Correct answer is A, neutral grape, low acidity, high yield, and adaptability to Albariza soil. How are Pedro Jimenez PX grapes processed for sweet sherries? They are carbonated to create sparkling sherry. They are immediately pressed and fermented without drying. They are sun-dried to concentrate sugars before fermentation. They are frozen to enhance acidity levels. Correct answer is C. They are sun-dried to concentrate the sugar before they are fermented. What are the characteristics of Muscat de Alexandria grapes? Low acidity, thick skin, neutral flavor with high sugar levels, aromatic, floral, and often used for sweet wines, high tannins, and bold fruit flavors. The correct answer is C, aromatic, floral, and often used for sweet wines. What is the fermentation and fortification process for PX wines? Grapes are dried, fermented partially, and then fortified to preserve residual sugar. Grapes are fermented to dryness before fortification. Fermentation is skipped and fortification happens immediately. Grapes are pressed without drying and fortified to enhance acidity. Honestly, I'm not sure about this. It's either A or C. I think, if I can check. It doesn't say, or it says, but I cannot find. I would assume that it's the C, that the fermentation skip because there's so much sugar. But honestly, I'm not sure about this one. But let's say it's C. Fermentation is skipped and fortification happens immediately or partially. It's either A or C. I'm not sure about this one. Sorry, there was a question that we skipped. Why are sherry barrels filled only 5/6 of their capacity? To allow space for floor yeast to develop and protect the wine from oxidation, to minimize sediment in the wine, to enhance extraction of oak tannins, to maintain consistent temperature during aging. The correct answer is A, to allow space for floor yeast to develop and protect the wine from oxidation. What maturation conditions are needed for sherry and how they are achieved? Constant sunlight exposure to enhance flavors, warm, dry conditions with minimal humidity, high altitude storage to reduce temperature variation, cool, humid conditions maintained by thick walls, earth floors, and ventilation. Correct answer is D. Cool, humid conditions maintained by thick walls, earth floors, and ventilation. What are criaderas in the Solera system? The intermediate tiers of barrels where younger wines are aged, the base layer from which sherry is taken before bottling, the top layer of barrels where floor is introduced, the term for freshly fermented sherry wines. The correct answer is A, intermediate tier of barrels where younger wines are aged. So basically, criaderas are sherry wines with different stages of age, and they're fractionally blended between each other, and then the final barrel, which is called the Solera. The whole system is called the Solera system, but the final barrels are called Solera, and these are the barrels from which the wine is taken for bottling. What is fractional blending in sherry production? Mixing younger and older wines to create consistency and complexity, separating wines by vintage before aging, blending wines with different sugar levels, mixing sherry with non-filtered, with not fortified wines. The correct answer is A, mixing younger and older wines to create consistency and complexity. What is the purpose of Solera barrels in the Solera system? To hold the youngest wine for initial aging, to provide Solera barrels. So Solera barrels are the barrels that have the final product for bottling. To hold the youngest wines for initial aging, to provide final blend for bottling, to collect sediment during fermentation, to store unfermented grape must. The correct answer is B, to provide the final blend for bottling. What does flour need to grow? Alcohol levels of 15, 15.5, oxygen and specific temperature and humidity, high sugar content, low alcohol levels, total darkness and minimal airflow, alcohol levels above 17 and no oxygen exposure. The correct answer is A, alcohol levels of 15, 15.5, oxygen and specific temperature and humidity. What aromas are associated with floor yeast? Citrus and floral notes, tropical fruit caramel, bread dough, nuts, chamomile, green apple, and herbal tones. The correct answer is C, bread dough, nuts, and chamomile. During which season does flour grow most effectively? Actively. Spring and autumn, summer and winter, all year round, only during the harvest season. Correct answer is A, spring and autumn. What is the color of biologically aged sherries like Fino? Pale lemon, deep amber, deep ruby red, dark brown. Correct answer is pale lemon. What does Enorama mean in sherry production? A sparkling sherry style sherry that is minimally filtered, showcasing its natural state. A sweetened blend of PX and Oloroso, a sherry aged exclusively in stainless steel. The correct answer is B. Sherry that is minimally filtered, showcasing its natural state. What is the typical color of Amontillado sherry? Amber to deep amber, pale straw to light gold, dark brown, ruby red. Correct answer is A, amber to deep amber. What is the typical color of Oloroso sherry? Deep amber to mahogany, light gold, pale straw, bright red. Correct answer is A, deep amber to mahogany or brown. What is the typical color of Pedro Jimenez PX sherry? Dark brown to nearly black, amber, light gold, ruby red. The correct answer is A, dark brown to nearly black. Last question. Which type of sherry cannot have an indication of age? Pedro Jimenez, Oloroso Amontillado, Manzanilla, Pale Cream, Fino. The correct answer is D, Fino. Wine people, thanks so much for watching this video. Please comment, share, subscribe. All this will help us to grow this channel, to reach more wine people around the world, for us to simplify wine information, to make it more approachable, to make people more interested in wine. Wine is such an interesting topic. It doesn't matter if you're a wine professional or enthusiast. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video where we're going to talk about port, and after that we're going to talk about muscat wines, fortified muscat wines. Until then, stay thirsty and wise.